What's up, guys? Kadar here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to do a review on the Dead Kitty plugin by Aurora DSP. So this plugin's like cheap on the App Store. It's not free. It's like $3.99 on the App Store. Yes, I paid that much. It's not really that much. You can change like the color of this. You can also increase this to your liking too. Check this. See how it sounds with the IR sound on. Oh wait, it's already on. Shit. Let's see what it sounds with Bones. You can control the air and stuff. Like this is how it sounds with all the air all the way up. So if you want your vocals to sound breathy, you can turn this up. And then you can also like mess with the high setting. And then the mid, you can play around with that too. Check this out. So I decided to go to Family Dollar and buy all of Aurora DSP's plugins. I fucked up the name again. I did it off screen, which is why I cut the last video. This will definitely be useful for mixing my vocals for screaming music, since the plugin is called Dead Kitty. And check this out. You can make your sound clean too. Check this out. If you want your vocals to sound more lo-fi, you can use the sound, because it will enhance your vocals a little bit. But let's see how it sounds with the air all the way cranked up. But it sounds like more lo-fi and vintage. Because you can also use this for like calm vocals and shit. And let's see what it sounds like with this. So if you want your vocals to, and remember, you can switch between these settings and shit. All right, so let's increase this a little bit. It sounds crazy with this off. Let's double this plugin. Let's double it. Let's see what happens if we combine the sounds. Let's make it a little bit more breathy. Let's heighten it up a little bit. Okay, that sounds like a little bit like too harsh a little bit. So we're going to throw in a de-esser on this one. We're doing a de-esser effect on here. I really thought that end track offered a de-esser effect on its own. I guess not. Whatever, that's what de-esser plugins are for anyways. This is the main reason why I have AAV3 plugin support. If you're gonna add like, if you're gonna double this plugin, at least add like a denoiser, de-esser. See how less harsh that sounds? See how less harsh that sounds? Now I'm gonna play it again. But if you want to use this plugin for calm vocals, you might want to use the vintage tone, and then you might want to like... This will sound good on its own for mixing, yes. Let's see what happens if we have one on and one off. This is... I'm guessing this is the volume. Let's crank this bitch up all the way to 100. 200, I meant. So if you do get this plugin, just let you know as a heads up, it's modeled on an amp. I think it's the 5150 amp or whatever it's called. I forgot. But it's modeled on that amp, and it's mimicking the exact same sound characteristics of that amp. What developers do is that they take certain effects and then make plugin emulations on them and shit like that. So there is a good chance that some of the AEV3 plugins that are out on the App Store are already the same and whatever. Like you'd be surprised on what plugins were modeled on and what emulations are out there. Like the Tube Screamer pedal is modeled on the Japanese Green pedal. Another example I'm going to mention. The Hand Clapper by Audio thing. That plugin is actually modeled on the real Hand Clapper reverb pedal by Boss. But the thing is, like, I think the Hand Clapper should have been made into an effect plugin. Because then you could just put the reverb on the pedal to your vocals and shit. Which is something I always wanted to do in my mixes and shit. Like, the soundscape is impressive. Aurora DSP, if y'all are watching this review, you probably are watching this anyways. Y'all gotta make more sick-ass plugins like this. Y'all gotta do something with the, rodent guitar pedal and make a plugin called Dead Squirrel or something. I don't know. Like, that would be interesting. Do I recommend getting this plugin? I mean, I highly recommend it, obviously. It's a good plugin, and if you're short on money, and then whatever, this is a good plugin for you to buy if you're short. It's almost $4 on the App Store, which is still surprisingly cheap, but it's a good plugin. Let's see what it sounds like with other effects. Now we're going to try the other plugin called the Tuna plugin. I got this one yesterday. Let's see how it sounds. I already did a review on that. Wait, I think you can change the side of this? How does this work? It's clean and this is loud. This whole thing should be white though. I don't know how that works. Alright. These three other plugins are gonna get their own videos eventually. I'm going to try my favorite plugin, Super VHS. Let's see what it sounds like with this plugin. Yeah, that's crazy. Vintage and aggressive. Let's see what it sounds like if we shape it up a little bit. This is why I use vintage plugins like Super VHS, because they're good. And I see that Dead Kitty kind of sounds good with vintage plugins like this. I'm gonna use more vintage gear like this, more vintage plugins. Because it's all about analog, baby. I don't know if this is gonna sound good with zero chorus, but I'm gonna give it a try anyways. It sounded incredibly good with the Super VHS plugin. Dep. It's more like a saturated chorus effect. More like it when you throw in the zero chorus. But this is actually like a pitch delay effect too for like convenience. When I started mixing my vocals with this plugin, I was like, holy shit, this plugin's not a joke. I've used this in a lot of my mixes, and it's good for mixing. Alright, now we're gonna try another good plugin. Let's see how this sounds. Where's decap? Decap. Shit. I'm gonna have to look for knock then, I don't know. Because these plugins are good. Okay, let's try knock. Now we're gonna put some air on this because it's gonna sound good with this. Let's see. I'm gonna punch the vocals. I hate how harsh the saturation sounds with the knock clipper plugin combined. Like, this is good on its own, but certain plugins are not going to go well with other plugins. That's my opinion. You can agree with it. You can disagree with me on this. It's my opinion. In all ways, I'm not saying that this plugin is bad. I'm not saying that they have to improve on the plugin. It's pretty good, but that's just how I feel. So, if you get this plugin, don't, use it with knock plugins or whatever, because then it's going to sound harsh. Unless if you throw in a de-esser or whatever, it's going to sound harsh. Just make sure you get plugins and then mix vocals together with effects that blend well. I can easily record a verse that's, an 80s sounding voice. Because I have presets that allow me to do that. Because personally, yes, I spend my money on plugins, personally. But I'm not going to do it all the time. Because this is something I want to invest in before I go back to, whatever I do. Let's try Choric. Let's see how this sounds. Shout out to Reed Stefan for actually using this plugin in his mixes and stuff. Because he actually did a video on Choric, which I should probably do too, honestly. If y'all want me to do reviews on plugins I already previously have, let me know. Choric was a good $11 on the App Store. It was not easy, alright? The key to mix like me is I overuse modulation effects to shape that audio. A lot of people told me that I'm muddying up my mixes. No, I know what I'm doing. Y'all don't think outside of that because y'all believe the concept of using little effects. Because the thing is, if you blend it within the ad libs, you're not going to notice it at all in the final mix. You're not going to notice it at all. And it's good. Okay, this is a little bit less harsh, but the thing is gotta blend these vocals together. And I have this thing on my phone where I can actually like access all my plugins I have on iOS to a MacBook device. If I were to use like a MacBook or an Apple computer somewhere. Then you can do. Because when you download Coric, you have two versions of Coric as the app. You have the low latency version and the regular version of Coric. Just to let y'all know before y'all get the plugin, because when you download the plugin, there's only going to be two versions of Coric in one app. Because you have the low latency version and you have the other version. And I showed you all the low latency version. Let's see what this plugin sounds like if we triple it. And we're going to triple the plugin. And now we're going to air it out a little bit. Air this shit out. Okay, tripling the plugin wasn't necessarily a good idea. So as for some recommendation, this app is not free. I repeat, it's not free. I already mentioned that anyways. So, Dead Kitty is an alright plugin. It's not bad. It's good, but it's not perfect. I'm taking a break from making music, but that doesn't mean that y'all aren't gonna get any like new review videos from me. Because Aurora DSP, what they do is make plugins inspired by different animals and creatures and stuff like that. How do I have these ties with these plugin developers and whatever? I have a lot of ties. I have ties. They're following me on my Instagram. That's how. I pitch them ideas. They're following me on Instagram and everything. I know the developer behind Audio Damage. I know the developers at Audio Thing. I know the developers behind Baby Audio. I actually talked to one of the people from Baby Audio, the developer of Baby Audio, to like get Super VHS on iOS. I also mentioned Comeback Kid, which is still yet to come. And that's it for this video.